What's up, guys? JP back at you once again, bring you guys day number 22 in my 8th annual 31 Days of Horror. Today's title is another first time watch. Again, I was looking at the shelf and I was like, yeah, what is here that I haven't seen? Hundreds of movies, but I was like kind of in the mood for something that was a little probably easier to watch, and that is Cabin Fever Patient Zero. From the year 2014. And Cabin Fever Patient Zero is the third Cabin Fever film of four because they remade the original. Cabin Fever Patient Zero, I remember when it was coming out that I kind of had really low expectations for it because it kind of just seemed like, that's kind of weird to make a sequel this long after, because the second Cabin Fever came out forever ago. And whenever I saw this, I remember seeing a couple reviews that were actually like semi-positive, and I was like, oh, cool, maybe this movie's not a complete dud. I didn't really know what to expect. I thought it took place on a boat, but it doesn't. It takes place on an island, but there is a boat section. I don't know, maybe the promotional stuff that I saw for it had that in my mind. It's a prequel of sorts to the Cabin Fever films. It's Patient Zero, obviously, meaning the first person infected. So it follows this guy who's getting married. He has like a little bachelor party with his two buddies and his buddy's girlfriend, which is also his close friend. And they decide to go to this like secretive island getaway thing to have some fun. And they're also on the island is like a research facility, and there's basically a sort of virus, this flesh-eating thing that was in the first two Cabin Fevers, that they've been testing, and Patient Zero is played by Sean Astin, this guy that's infected, and they're keeping him captive. The group of young people who go to this island end up getting infected, and they're trying to reach the facility to sort of help them. They're not really sure what's going on. So yeah, that's basically the plot. So what do I think of this one? Well, I liked it and I didn't at the same time. There's things that I liked about it. Honestly, like the setup to this film, the teens or young adults, they're not teens, on the boat dealing with personal problems and relationships, and this guy's getting married, and the girl still has a crush on the guy type thing. All that was really fun. I actually really enjoyed what was going on there. And then when they first start getting infected, it's pretty cool. It reminds you of Cabin Fever. There's a gross out scene in it, not as good as the bloody finger bang from Cabin Fever 1, but still pretty gross, and they were kind of trying that sort of thing again. I give them points for it. And that's all fun and fine and dandy, but then once they get to the research facility, the movie kind of loses me, honestly. I found it incredibly boring at that point. I was like, this is just not what I wanted. It's not, it didn't feel like Cabin Fever. And another thing that didn't feel like Cabin Fever was the actual virus. They really needed to watch the first two Cabin Fevers, at least the first one. And since this is a prequel to that virus, you expect it to kind of look the same, but it's almost more like mutation and like zombie-like at times, like infected-like, and not this sort of like flesh-eating skin, like this. It seemed more bubbly and stuff like that. It didn't really have that natural look to it, and that kind of bugged me a little bit. It also spread extremely fast, much more faster than it seemed like it did in the movie. The first Cabin Fever kind of bothered me. Just like the details of this movie kind of bothered me since it was a prequel, but at the same time I could see why they really just didn't care. It's just make another one, capitalize on the name. People watching this probably just don't care that much about the story and just want to see some gross stuff and like a infected film. I love the original Cabin Fever. It's one of my favorite movies, so that kind of bugs me more than maybe the average person. The film, it's I like some stuff and I didn't like stuff. There is some gore, nothing overly amazing to me, honestly. The scientists and all that stuff, it just kind of lost me a little bit. I just didn't care by the time we got there. It's 95 minutes too, which I was like, it really didn't need to be 95 minutes. It should have been like 89 minutes. Cut out like a good 6 minutes of that sciencey stuff. Probably would have been a better movie, but alas, we have this. It's not bad. It's watchable. I just didn't like it that much. I'm gonna go with, I don't know, like a 6 out of 10. Maybe a little bit more generous. Let's go 6.5. It's pretty fun. It's easy to watch at least. Until some of the third act is a bit rough, but yeah, so that's it for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys tomorrow with another review. Peace.